Let's see, all of the tabs should be muted. They are. Alright. So, the very basis of this is I want to create my own character and learn the capabilities of rigging for actual 3D animation. Now, I'm no expert at this, so going through this, I'll be partially learning as I do this from things I've done in the past, but for this character, we're gonna want to end up with something like this. Is another character that I worked on before that I want to improve some more in some of the things on here than what is seen here. Everything on the render section has already been preset up for this, so if you do not know how to do this, maybe you should check out my previous video on making a character eye, because I do kind of cover that also. But for this also, I have the screencast keys on, as you can see bottom left here. The most we're going to be working on towards today, I think, is just going to be the basic face formation and forming the lips. So let's delve right into this. Okay, I already deleted the light source for now. The camera's here. It's just on layer 2 here. That's like I didn't cover it before. If you right click on something and you hit M, you can change the layer it's on. So I just have it there so it's out of the way. You can still use it to see there, but we're not going to be using that today. So we're going to start with the cube here. Hit tab, hit W, then we're going to subdivide smooth twice. That's W subdivide, then W subdivide again. And we're going to open it up to have 2 separate displays. One will be for the front view, one will be for the side view primarily. But let's go ahead and smooth the shading here. Start hitting tab out. Yep. So you go to the top right here, grab right here, yank it across. I don't need either the location, rotation, scale side or the transformation side open, so we're going to close that out. Now on the left tab, I'm going to hit 1. On the right tab, I'm going to hit 3. So this is front view on the left. This is side view on the right. Then on both sides, you're going to hit 5 to get into an orthographic view. And we'll go back to editing on it. Zoom in maybe a little bit. And as you can see, this is basically an isographic. Isographic? Yeah, it's well, hitting the wrong buttons here. Shift A, mesh, icosphere. That's what it's called. Isographic. Look, what are you talking about? Alright. First, we're going to grab down here on the left panel and move over to the right. And we're going to hit O because we want this to actually have proportional editing on. Then G. You can use your mouse wheel to adjust how much proportional editing you want to go with it. We're going to yank that down like so. Hit Z. Well, just see the wireframe. Hit A to unselect. Then you're going to hit B and select the back section here. I'm going to pull it back somewhat. Now, not as heavy as before. Then hit A. Hit B. A to unselect. Hit B again. I'm going to select the front. With that a little, hit A again, hit B, grab here, and pull up slightly. There we go. For a basic face shape, you could say, kind of. Everything will be, of course, modified, adjusted, and things more later on, but this is what we're going to stick with for right now. Using the middle mouse wheel, you're going to transition to underneath from either front or the side. The side's just a little easier because it's already partially there. We're going to grab these 4 faces here after swapping it over to faces. You hit 1, you go back and 3 here, go back, then hit O to turn off proportional editing, then E for extrude, and just hit enter. We're going to drag this down. You want the base to be flat here, so I'm going to change the size with the S, then hit Z for Z only, hit 0, and enter. Pull that down a little more. Now we want to change it so it goes out. This is going to be, you know, kind of where the shoulder area is that goes into the neck. So SX, pull that on out. And we're going to want to make it towards, of course, a real neck. That's going to be here. So we need a loop cut here. And that'll be Control R. Make a full loop cut there. Hit escape to not have it selected. And hit S for size, X for X-axis only, and just pull that in. There's kind of like a whole mannequin look here. And you could basically just save here. I'm going to save this already. As TheRiaya 01. As doing this, honestly, you're going to probably want, well, not probably, you are going to want a bunch of saves because you want to be able to go back for each major changes that you add to it. I'm going to add some major changes here. So, of course, I wanted that save. So, go back into editing mode with tab, then hit Z and then hit A if you have anything selected and move that. We want the points selected for the vertex. Now, we're going to hit B and we're going to select this half side here. We're going to delete it. So X and tell it to vertices. And we're going to add a modifier. This modifier is going to be the mirror modifier. And we're going to turn on the adjustment edit cage so you can see the mesh on both sides. And we're also going to add a subdivision modifier and change that to 3 on both render and view. So now, yeah, kind of a base face here. Kind of like, you know, a mannequin you would see in a store or something or so. But, I'm not going to, of course, stop there. We want to make that face. So we're going to add a couple loop cuts. One of them's going to be right here. Add that loop cut. And we might add some more later on, which I think we will. This is kind of where the base of the nose should be. So we want to add another loop cut down here. This whole section here is going to start to turn into the mouth. So we're going to add a base look for the nose. So grab these two vertices and pull them in. If you're going to make an anime style character, well, the heck. Oh! That's a good point there. We want clipping. So we're going to go to clipping here and turn that on. And we're going to turn the merge limit down to like 0.0005. Because if you're going to do like an anime character, you're going to want the nose pretty close in. So you can see it clips together when it gets too close together, but we don't want to allow it to do that. So you grab there, pull that in, grab here. Not quite as far in. I'm going to grab the vertex here, basically in the middle of the face. Pull it out a little bit. I mean, obviously, this isn't going to be the final nose or anything either. This is just base setup, like I had already stated. Alright. Save again if you haven't done so. If you want to make another change here, I shouldn't have to because I should be good enough to remember how to make the mouth now since I went over it with myself earlier today. But you know, I'm kind of derpy like that. I probably didn't. Now we're going to want to adjust the this to the cage modifier. This will basically hug to the subsurface on here. You don't have to do it at this point in time. Just that's how I'm going to do it. So I'm gonna move farther in on the actual face sections here now. Hit E to extrude, and S to make smaller. And we're going to delete it. X and delete these faces. Now it looks kind of funky. Like, see, like maybe a reptilian or bird-like creature. Actually, it would be kind of like your bird-like creature because all you gotta do is just, like grab these. I just go. All right. Now, the reason we do it this way is because we want to have the set loop cuts properly. We're going to start with these 3. Hit escape. 2, actually. I did 2, didn't I? Those 2. And it doesn't look too much towards the face now, does it, though? We're going to modify it so it gets to be face. So now with these loop cuts, because we did them right, if you alt-click, right-click, you'll notice it selects them specifically, and that's exactly what we want. And going to come down, it's going to start formation of the list. As you can see, it kind of is now, but we gotta move a few things around to truly get it where we want it. So add a little bit. Right here is basically going to form the little section in the middle of between the nose and the top of your lip. Oh, grab over here, and we're going to pull this in. Start getting it in. Maybe I might do that one later. I don't want to have anything kind of messing with the mouth too much, you could say, with it. This part is patience, just like anything else really on here. These 2 sections we want to be facing the same size, kind of like how we made the base flat there. So we want to S, X and hit 0. And then S, Y, insert. No, we don't pull it in like that. We're going to grab it from the second one in and just pull it back to be with it. And we're going to do the same here. You'll see why I'm pulling these in a minute, because I'm going to start pulling this down so that it forms the inside corners of the lip itself. Okay, I need to move this up. Along with this, well, I should move together. Kind of pull it out. This is going to come down and form the chin. Pull that out like so. This is actually a little better than when I was doing earlier. It's already coming along actually decently, I think, personally, but someone else might look at it and go, ugh. It's bad. You know, to each their own. I am going to have to add another loop cut right here. So I'm sorry about that. I'll cut that out in the high quality recording. I put that onto YouTube. I'm not going to add a loop cut there. And as you can see, this is just a little off in general. The bottom lip formed out more. A loop cut, if I add any, will have to be here. Yeah. Add the loop cut here. Give me a second. Realized I forgot to pop out the actual chat itself. I had it just the dashboard, so I got that pulled out now. Whole face down here is going to have to be moved up. Before I continue, I'm going to do that because it just looks kind of funky as such. That'll include here. and inside here. I'm using C to select all the pieces. Now I'm probably gonna have to change that to be up as well, but I can do that later. So unselect, and we can go back to modifying right here. Still feel I should have another loop cut in here. If I pull that down. No, I can't because that messes up the whole thing. So, like I said, I'm going to do it the other way. I'm going to pull this out, push that up, grab this down here, and pull that forward for the chin while this comes up. And have this start formation of the actual lip section itself here. We can pull that down. Alright, that's a little better. This has to go in. Part of the problem is I need to modify how these sections are going in as such as well. Down just a little bit, because this is also going into the face, so these have to move in as well. Right now the bottom lip just looks ultra fat and stupid. And hey, if that's the look you want to go for in a character, then that's what you want to go for. My character? No, that's not how she's going to be looking like, so. Now this is where the beginning of the lip forms here, so it's gonna coming down here, pulling down as such. This still has to come down somewhere, so pull back. Starting to come together a little bit. I guess there's a reason why this episode's only going to be about making the lips. This is going to have to start coming in. I'm going to have to push it out here. Start pulling in. This section here I might have to out some, I think. But that also goes into towards making the actual character face. Like you see here, that's going into the cheeks. So not focused on that yet. To possibly make this look a little better because they are going to be forming eventually in here the whole mouth. So size on Y and size on Z. Pull that up. Push and just gonna have to lip up. Lip up. The better. Oh, I just sound silly and stupid. This is going to have to pull in some also. Form out around here properly. You can see there. Alright. That doesn't look horrific. I'm trying to think if there's something I possibly need to do. Like, I'm not pulling that out, obviously. Because it all has to come together as the actual lips themselves. So I'm just going to grab the inside here, pull down, look at it. Didn't mean to do that. Escape. Move that on X and that like so. That looks better. Top lip still looks disproportionate, I feel. How I want the bottom lip. That. Pull this again out some. And grab here. Pull in. still need to push that face up. Again, this is still too far down. Now, this is not going to include this section here. I'm going to go to faces now, and I'm going to select around, because I do want to push up still a little farther. Whoops, wrong spot. Where are you grabbing? Stop grabbing these other areas. Shift here, grab here. Thank you. Gotta make sure nothing else got grabbed. I'll mess around with. Not what I want. What I want. Oh. Head up here. Alright. Out. Select here. Still looks a little funky. I'm gonna have to modify that, but that's fine. I can do that in a little bit. Now I'm pulling things out. That has a problem to do with down here. Now, push that down. I shouldn't have put that. Alright. There you go. That's looking better again. That, of course, looks funky. Good. Too far down. I'll be adding other loop cuts later for that. So, pull that back up. I'm not doing inside the mouth. That'll be some other time. Oh, wow. It's almost been 30 minutes already. Dang. Alright, so now I'm going to grab the actual mouth section itself here and move it up like I said I was going to do. Stop it! Ah! Wrong way. That way. Thank you. Why isn't it grabbing here? There we go. Why? This thing is not working with me. I'm just going to include here also. Alright. Yeah, that's looking decent. I'm gonna save. Out. Now you can see that's where the formation again for the cheek will be. We'll probably add another loop cut here when we do that. But I think this is where we're going to call it. Yeah, we'll call it here for the time being because I only want to keep these like half an hour or so around there, not too long. Pulling that out, you can see it's just basic cheeks. The eyes, I'm gonna have to add a loop cut through here. That's what I'm gonna start working on next time. Some of the eyes and such. The basic formation of the lip is done, and hopefully it helps someone out there if they're trying to make a face. Oh, I'm going to be changing the music and stuff when I put this onto YouTube because they have like this whole copyright stuff, and right now I'm keeping these ad-free as much as possible. The reason for that is I want to be able to you be able to understand them and see how it's going without being bothered too much with ads and such. And if this actually picks up traction somehow and people start viewing it on here on Twitch or YouTube, then maybe I'll try monetizing. I've never done that before, but I'll see how it goes. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to make a face. I'm going to do some gaming here on Twitch. Then I'm going to cut out the high quality recording now.